Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Lily G. Am I the a-hole for ruining my cousin's life by existing, being pregnant, and allegedly stealing her baby name? So I, 18 female, have always had weird drama with my cousin Casey, 23 female. For some reason, she's always had this bizarre obsession with being in competition with me, while loving my older sister, 24 female, like she's God's favorite. No idea why. I gave up trying to figure it out years ago. For context, she lived with us from middle school up to now because of family issues, and even then, she treated me like a punching bag. She called me a worthless POS, ugly, and tried to make me feel like nothing. And unfortunately, it worked for a while. I hid under baggy clothes, avoided people, and had zero confidence. Fast forward to junior high. I started finding myself, made some friends, got a little style, learned makeup from my sister, and got into my 90s baggy clothes but cute era. Casey hated every second of it, claimed I was copying her. She wore baggy hoodies and sweats with Crocs every day. It got worse when I got a boyfriend. He was 16, I was 15, and she deadass tried to steal him by telling him her body was better than mine and he would love seeing her under her clothes. Dead emoji. My mom had to intervene multiple times while my dad kept telling me to let it go. She's been through a lot. Spoiler alert, she's been through a lot her entire life according to everyone. I graduated high school early at 16 with honors and college credits. She hated it and called me a dumb a-hole who wouldn't get far. She didn't even come to my graduation. Meanwhile, she dropped out of college twice. Rejection? I think yes. What made it worse was I found out I was pregnant in November, and Casey immediately started telling family I didn't know who the father was, that it could be multiple men, and even told my dad the father was over 31. Mind you, I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years at this point. When no one believed her messy ass, she tried to take the attention off of me and got pregnant herself. She admitted to this, but sadly, she miscarried in February. We were all there for her. I even wore baggy clothes so she wouldn't feel triggered seeing my bump. Still, every time I had a craving or talked about my pregnancy, she made it about her. Would literally cry at the dinner table because it should have been her. Dramatic, right? Then, when I announced my baby's name, she went and got a custom blanket made with the same name, her due date, and the day she miscarried, claiming I stole it. When the name was my mom's mother's name, who she has no relation to. She's my dad's niece. I kept the name also. Today's episode, we're planning my baby shower, talking about decorations and food when she loudly scoffs from the living room, "No one cares." We ignore her. We said the baby's name again. Here she goes, "A name you stole from me." I rolled my eyes cause why are you still on this? I'm showing my mom a picture of a custom car seat cover I ordered. She storms in with her own baby stuff she bought before the miscarriage, mumbling, hopefully I don't steal her ideas. Like, I have the most of her things already. I don't want her ideas? Laughing emoji. Once again, I ignored her and my mom told her she loved them. Once she sees me not caring, she then went full-on explode mode, accuses me of copying her, being jealous, needing to heal before I bring a baby into this world, and randomly brings up the hormonal hygiene struggles I've been having lately, that she overheard talking me about, like what the F? We left to the backyard where my sister was, and this woman followed us out screaming, saying we treat her worse than her own parents did. Big lie, my parents had babied her for years while she treated me like dirt. My dad eventually came upstairs from the basement because she was so loud, asked what was going on, and for once, instead of coddling her, he went off. He straight up said, "Casey, for God's sake, I love you, but what is your problem? You pick fights constantly, you play victim, and you're not in middle school anymore. If you want to stay here, you need to get your act together. I can't keep doing this with you, or you fighting with a teenager who has done nothing to you." She was shell-shocked, stormed to her room, packed a bag and left. Later, she texted me this, "You've won, I can't fight anymore. You've always ruined my life, even when I was with my parents. You were always the favorite and I always hated you. You ruin everything for me." And now I feel kind of bad. I didn't respond and no one's heard from her since. OP, don't feel bad. You were not the a-hole, you were a target. Casey projected her pain, her insecurity, and self-loathing onto you for years, and you've survived it with strength she clearly doesn't have. The text she sent you confirms it. She sees your existence as a threat because you refused to shrink. And that's not your fault. That's her unresolved trauma misfiring onto you. Also, you didn't humiliate her, you didn't scream, you didn't exile her. You endured, you ignored, and even showed empathy when she lost her pregnancy. She escalated every time you stood in your own light. So no, OP, you shouldn't feel guilty. You didn't ruin her life. You just stopped letting her ruin yours. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Says, don't feel bad, lol. She constantly was an a-hole to you, and when she didn't get her way, she threw a pissy fit and ran off. She'll either be back or crash somewhere else. Regardless, it's not the last you'll hear of her. And Dopey responds, part of me wants her to stay gone, but my parents are here low-key worried, so that's what really makes me feel guilty. Electrical Elk 536 says, when she was screaming at you, she was screaming about everything she hates about herself. She's jealous and has unresolved issues. She's unwell, but that's not a free pass to be abusive. Distance yourself as much as possible from her. Let her stay away. I'm sorry the adults in your life didn't protect you like they should have from her terrible behavior, not the a-hole. And Dopey responds, it means a lot hearing that. And yeah, I wish the adults had stepped in sooner too, but I'm grateful my dad finally saw it for what it was. I'm definitely focusing on keeping my distance and protecting my peace. Covert Pudding says, not the a-hole. I'm glad your dad stepped in finally, but he should have stood up for you years ago and gotten her into therapy. That level of projection and resentment along with the bullying is super toxic and unhealthy. It sounds like you've been mostly grey rocking her and not giving her the reaction she wanted, which is really the best way to deal with her. Good luck going forward. And Opie responds, thank you, and yeah, I agree it would have saved everyone a lot of stress if someone had stepped in years ago. He is the type of person that doesn't believe in therapy, so that wasn't on the list. Opie's edit update. Hey you guys, I'm honestly overwhelmed by all the responses. I didn't expect this to blow up like it did, but thank you so much for the kindness, advice, and support. I wanted to answer some of the questions I've been seeing a lot in the comments. 1. Was she the youngest girl before me? Yes, she was the last girl born for 5 years before I came along. Our family is mostly boys with only a few girls here and there, so I do think that may have played a part in how she felt about me. 2. About me being a teen mom. I turned 19 in a couple of weeks. I've been independent since I was able to work at 15, and I even have my own small business that's slowly growing. I still live with my parents for now, but I handle my own life for the most part. 3. Why didn't my parents get her into therapy? My mom has tried several times to convince my dad to get us all into therapy, but he's one of those people who doesn't believe in it. He's always told us to pray or write it down instead, which honestly did help me at times growing up, but she definitely needed professional help and still does. I've asked him recently to consider it, and he just rolled his eyes and ignored me. 4. My parents' ages. My mom is 47 and my dad is 57. They've been married since 1998, so about 26 years now. 5. What happened with her parents? Her dad was physically abusive to both her and her mom. Her mom helped her run away and sent her to live with us, while she stayed behind. We live on the East Coast, and they were all the way in Oakland, California. As for contact, no, we haven't spoken to them since they lost custody of her. 6. Why was I so nice to her? Because I genuinely looked up to her. My older sister was never really around much, and I thought she and I could be close like sisters. I really wanted that. 7. Was there favoritism? No, not really. I feel like we were treated fairly for the most part. If anything, she got a little more attention and was doted on more. Probably because of what she'd been through. I only got extra toys when I was little because I was 4 years old and too small to do the stuff they did. Where is she now? No one has heard from her since she left. She's blocked all of us, and as far as we know, she doesn't have a job or anywhere stable to go, which honestly makes me nervous because it's likely she'll try to come back eventually, so we're keeping our eyes open and being cautious. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that she should just move on and focus on herself. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Casey ended up coming back about 2 days later, drunk and higher than ever. It was around 1 a.m. I was asleep, but apparently my parents were still up watching a movie when she came in. My dad, who's a recovering alcoholic and has been sober since I was 14, was furious and disappointed. They tried to sit her down to talk, but she just cried and said she was tired and wanted to lay down, so they let her go upstairs. A little while later, my parents stepped outside to the back patio for a smoke break. Yes, both of them smoke occasionally. Of course, while they were outside and out of earshot, Casey came to my room. I woke up to her trying to open my door. Thankfully, it was locked. She started whisper shouting for me to open it, calling me a piece of crap and saying we needed to talk. When I told her to go away and that we could talk in the morning, she started banging on my door, kicking it, and was saying that I would never be prettier than her and that I was the ugly black sheep in the family. This again, get help. I told her to go to bed again, but she wasn't done. She threatened me, saying if she saw me tonight, it wouldn't be good for me. At that point, I started recording and sent a video to my dad. He came rushing back inside and went off. He told her she wasn't staying another night in this house and she needed to start packing as soon as possible. That coming home drunk and bullying me again was unacceptable and she needed to figure out where she was going in the morning. She broke down crying again, claiming we were all she had and she just wanted to talk. My dad didn't budge this time. He told her the only person she needed to talk to was a therapist, and until she got professional help, she wasn't welcome here. She was shocked because, like I've said before, my dad's always been old school and kind of coddled her, but not this time. My mom came inside mid-conversation, sat her down, and apparently had a heart-to-heart about how unacceptable it was for her to live in our home while treating me like garbage. I was watching the whole thing go down on the security cameras from my phone because, yes, I'm that petty. But then my sister Monica starts texting me, taking Casey's side. It goes something like this. Monica says, OP, for once, will you stop making it so hard with her? She only wanted to talk. And I say, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm barely able to get out of bed. What do you expect me to do? I don't want to talk. Then she goes, I'm tired of you playing the victim like you're so innocent in this. Get over yourself. You're exhausting and it's getting harder to deal with. And I say, what have I done, Monica? I've cooked for y'all, cleaned up after y'all, always tried to be nice, and neither of you do anything for me. If anything, you're exhausting. You're 24, you've got a degree, you won't even use it. Be real. Stop texting me. Good night. I cried. I always looked up to both of them, even after everything, but this was my breaking point. So here's where we're at now. Casey left the next morning to go stay with a friend. She's been texting and calling my parents, begging them to reconsider, but they're standing firm. If she wants to be a part of this family, she needs therapy first, no exceptions. It's scary to even think about what could have happened if she'd gotten into my room. She's completely crossed the line and she won't be coming back into our lives or near my baby. If anything else happens, I won't hesitate to involve the police and get a protective order. My baby's safety comes first. Always. As for Monica, we haven't spoken since those texts. My mom noticed and asked what was going on, but I told her to ask her daughter because I had nothing to say. Later though, I did show the texts to my mom and they're starting to see the reality of what's been happening. It's painful, but it's clear my sister needs that wake-up call. I've also officially uninvited both Monica and Casey from my baby shower. Neither of them will be involved with my baby, and my mom said it's my decision, so no Aunt Monica, no Cousin Casey. My dad's standing firm too. No more excuses, no more drama. And me? I'm focusing on my pregnancy, my business, and reclaiming my peace. This is supposed to be a happy time for me, and I'm done letting them take that away. I deserve to be excited about this baby without guilt. Thank you to everyone who's been so kind, offered advice, and reminded me I don't have to tolerate this treatment. It means more than you know. Well, OP, I think this is a really good update. You kept yourself and your baby safe, and you helped your parents see what was going on. And whatever your cousin or sister do is not for you to worry about. So here's wishing you the best, OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user DesignerSquare5015. Am I the a-hole for wanting to break up with him for being a good dad? Me, 30 female, and Kyle, 32 male, have been in what I thought was a good relationship for 3 years. He has children, and for privacy, I won't say anything about his children. He does have an ex-wife around our age, and she's alright. We aren't friends, but we get along, and she trusted me enough to ask me to do things if they couldn't. We're going to move in together, but obviously not anymore. It was Father's Day that this happened. He spent his day with his kids and I spent mine with my dad. Kyle texted me that he will always put his kids before me. Okay? Totally unprompted. I was confused. My dad asked me if anything happened, and I'm like, not that I know. It was weird and I didn't reply because, yeah, I know you should. I'm still confused. We talk about it like the next day and he just said I needed to know. I'm like, yeah, but did I do anything? Did one of the kids say anything? Like, help me correct my behavior. Like, why did you say that when it's to be expected? I know he's a good dad that puts his kids first. It's why I wanted to have my own with him. He kept saying that I just need to know my place in his life, need to know the hierarchy. It was really weird and there's been no resolution. Now, when I try to talk about that, he gets angry and says I'm being petty or jealous and I always knew the deal. It feels weird to say it, but it almost felt hurtful. Like some type of passive-aggressive move and he just wanted to start a fight or put me down. If I've never done anything and have been respectful, why say that? I know I don't come first in his life and it never bothered me until he decided I needed to know that from his own mouth. I'm rethinking the relationship and just removing myself from it. OP, no, you're not the a-hole and you're absolutely right. His message, his whole thing is absolutely unprompted. You weren't asking to come before the kids, but when confronted with the situation, you were just asking for respect. Instead, he put you down to assert control and that's not love. So trust your instincts and leave. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section and now let's check out the community comments. Travis Blink says, not the a-hole. Sounds like some weird passive-aggressive stuff to me as well. Did he spend Father's Day with his ex and the kids? If so, that might be where this is coming from. I would demand to know what he meant as well, and would probably break up if he wouldn't explain. And OP responds, I don't think he was with her, but I'm like shaking right now. I never thought he could be cheating on me with the woman he effing divorced. He just said he was spending the day with the kids, but I lost the details of that day because of that text. D. Tony says, start looking for a place to live or move back home. Change passwords, close joint accounts, move. And OP responds, luckily everything is separate and I still have my own place. And Goidelica says, you're right, that sounds like he's on the defensive. He's acting as if you did something wrong, but you didn't, and I think he knows you didn't. He's trying to assert dominance or something? Watch out, mate, the crimson banner's flying. Edit, I'd almost say it sounds like he's trying to find a way to make you the bad guy because he's done something wrong. That he's trying to justify doing something he hasn't told you about to himself by projecting negativity onto you. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that she should just move on. So now let's move on to the update and see how this story ends. I dumped him. I tried again for like the 100th time to talk to him. What prompted him to say that? What did I do? He just got angry and said, I need to know my place and why do I have a problem with it when I knew he was a dad going into this? Same old line he's been saying for the past week. I asked if he was cheating with his ex and I got called insecure, petty, crazy, and others, but I remember those. I didn't even bother asking about hypothetical kids. I told him we're done, and he said he knew I couldn't handle it and to stay away from dads next time. I blocked him, sent his ex a text letting her know, and she saw it but no reply, which is fine. She'll be blocked too if anything weird happens. I'm going to miss the kids, and that's the weirdest part. They're just gone. The graduations, birthdays, and other milestones, gone. So yeah, no more dads for me, and I can't say this was a learning experience, it just sucks. OP, I'm sorry that this is the way that you learned your ex is an idiot. And of course it sucks so much right now, but in time, you've dodged a bullet. So here's wishing you the best, OP. Take care and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.